Well, it seems like a great company to work with, and whenever I talked to Bernie earlier, he really seemed to appreciate everything.
The best thing about Bernie, like, is his perception and his objectivity, where he is pretty much the most flexible, understanding guy in the world. 3 years ago, the Bernie I knew would never be okay with making an anime. He was not an anime fan. He thought it was just ridiculous stuff. He thought he would have just shot it down entirely. The sign of a good man is how much he's grown in the past few years. And it's just being flexible in general has always been the strength of our company.
No, I mean, everything Rooster does, everything Rooster Teeth does, everything Rooster Teeth tries always seems to succeed. Part of that is because, like you said, it seems like the people you work with are some of the most dedicated people I've ever seen.
One of our strengths is just who we seek and hire, especially.
I've actually got 2 questions.
Sure.
Okay, what is it like for all of you working with Rooster Teeth? They're kind of out there. When you watch their videos, I'm just wondering, how do you?
We are kind of out there, right, Patrick?
I love my job so much.
The same way? Okay, so you guys are the same way.
You should see some of the most random nights.
No, but I mean, the fact that we're off site.
They're off site, so they interact with us on a much
We're still very
not
proud.
as
I'm very proud to be working.
I would understand.
But
Yeah.
I hope that to see something you've made come to life is something to be very proud of, right?
It's real.
Yeah.
Right?
To see.
Just coming here is like surreal.
I'm one of the things. It's like, and I've approached other artists before. Sometimes they don't follow through. It's like I mentioned this on the panel just now. Artists want their characters to become to live. They come up with characters because they want them to live. And I've contacted other artists who would give me like a half answer, like, oh, that'd be cool, and never follow through on that. Eileen was much better about that. She's like, this has potential and possibility. Yeah. I mean, who would not want the opportunity to have your character come to life? I mentioned, we'll make it easier for other artists down the line. And part of it might be reputation. Obviously, we've earned part of where we are. So when I messaged Eileen, she didn't know who I was. I was pretty much nobody to her. But then she followed the thread of my work, and it's like, oh, this guy's all right.
I saw your debut and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, he makes things happen and does some cool things. Every now and then something actually works. And then it's so like I told her, I said, maybe this could work. And we met.
We just met only through like cosplay community.
Yeah.
But I didn't know anything about research.
Yeah, and you're like the people we met through were fans of some of the videos I've made.
Yeah. So actually, like my friend was a fan of his work, and then she introduced us.
Yeah, and then first I thought I was just talking to a hot cosplayer, but I found out she's also a hot cosplayer artist. So, and then you follow the thread, like we do that, right, Patrick?
Yeah.
We're sitting at 3 a.m. We're at the office. Patrick.
3. It was like 4 a.m.
4 a.m. So many nights we're like, Patrick sees an artwork, I see an artwork. I say, Patrick, follow that thread, and we click on their profile, follow them down, click on their gallery.
The thing I'm noticing, I'm slowly becoming him,
That's
and
good.
it scares the shit out of me.
You follow the thread of who that person is. You discover who they are. You find out who they are as an artist, and you try to gauge, and then eventually you find your way to reach out to them. Sometimes it takes years. It took us 5 years. It took me, I said 7, but I guess it was 5 since I discovered her work. 5 years to start working with her.
Right.
And I'd seen her work 5 years ago, and I said to myself, someday I'll work with this girl. And
I worked like 5 years ago. It's like, what is that? I'm actually kind of.
What's
How
the
do
word?
I say that? I wish you hadn't shown my gallery because there's so much old work there that I would have liked to clean up.
That
Still look good.
Dirty stuff should be shown.
that is useful for everyone else. Because it feels the same way.
Yeah,
I just wish we showed more boy love.
Oh,
Ah,
I agree
yes,
with that.
yes, yes,
I
the
was
guy
just
love.
like,
When they put on my gallery and they just like showing my banner, I'm like,
Some of our artists have tastes for things that I appreciate.
that's how I was like please go to the original one immediately.
But it's all part of who they are. Again, like imagine Bernie had seen that stuff like 5 years ago.
Now you have to incorporate it.
But now it's
show
incorporated in the show, and I have
Like a
a
lot of fans.
You have to
I have
incorporate. No, you have to incorporate.
and I have an appreciation for everything. So, my respect for her work and what her tastes are will make it to our work. I mean, there's so many nights where Patrick and I are talking about boy love and how we can
just there together in bed.
It's so aligned between them.
I gotta be honest. I'm getting more excited about RWBY as you talk.
Because of boy love. Okay. Yeah.
I see what you've done.
I know. That's,
that why you
that's
crossed
my
your
plan
legs?
all along. The moment you asked me.
Don't want anyone to notice. My girlfriend would be really upset.
All right.
Camera guy can't say that.
Tease losing.
So, how exactly did you find all of them? I mean,
DeviantArt, Achievement Hunter.
Achievement Hunter.
Oh, okay.
so you've been working for Achievement? With Achievement
Yeah, I was
for a
doing
while?
Achievement Hunter
The
stuff
important thing is, even after discovering their work, I didn't contact them because I saw that they just did their own thing, kept doing it. You're an accomplished children's artist. You had studied, yes.
I was in school.
You were in school, but you kept making the work, and I follow her on Twitter and see her tweeting about things like, I'm in a cafe, here's a drawing of the family in front of me teaching their 5-year-old how to
It was like
math.
a Chinese family. They were like hammering their kids.
And Patrick had constantly been making Achievement Hunter work. The commissioned merchandise was not enough to bring him in as an employee until I said, I need him. And as I was looking at his work, I said, I can absolutely use this. To be familiar and have a repertoire with our people, and also have talent is something that's worthwhile.
So didn't you guys think that this is where you'd be doing what you like? You'd be working on this on such a big project, so many people, are really excited for it.
Scott.
No idea.
The important thing is that, especially with the rise of the internet cultures, is that people need to look out for each other and be brought together more often. I mean, I had my success when I made my first movie, and the senior producer on a project at a game company saw me. Rooster Teeth also saw me, and an art director also saw me. It's artists appreciating other artists, essentially. And that artists know that. So, like, I guarantee you, if you're an artist out there working, someone is seeing your work. We might be getting more and more crowded, but at the same time, you also have to hone your craft and just hone that unique voice of yours. Like, her work especially had a tone that I haven't seen anywhere else. Her work especially had a level of emotion in it, and design in it, that I appreciate greatly. Patrick's magic.
To be honest, I think it's just amazing that you found like that. Like it was just you saw them online.
If I could continue to do this, I would be surrounded. But of course, being a company responsibly and at pace, it took as many years as it did. But the idea is you don't stop.
So I guess what has been your, absolute favorite thing about working with your project?
Working with other artists.
Working with artists. That probably makes sense for everyone.
All right.
What about you guys? Is there anything in particular that you just love working with?
I fucking
You fuck.
No, I fucking hate Monty. No. What was the question?
I'm just waiting for you to go solo.
What was your favorite thing working on RWBY?
Oh, the amount of inspiration I get from everybody there. You, Miles, Carrie, inspire me every day to work harder on that one.
That's fun. I was jealous.
And so, I've improved so much because of them. Because of the writers, because of
Patrick is one of those artists who just has no idea what he's worth. So after I'm done slapping him, I take him out to Patrick.
Oh, you guys are into that?
And we go on a date. And then we'll
Talk about boy love.
talk about boy love and doodle together. And diddle together.
It sounds like a dream come true in its own way. I think you should be happy with your life. It sounds amazing, guys. Like I can't draw or shit, but if I could, I would. I'm envious of how.
Well, there's true talents that are worthwhile for every aspect of something.
Yeah.
I'm a shitty journalist, so I'm just gonna keep going with that.
I was a shitty animator. I'm still a shitty animator.
I was a shitty artist.
Sorry, I'm all excited.
Oh, it's all good. Earlier you said that you had this idea sitting in an IHOP, writing on a napkin. How is it how's the feeling of transferring ketchup stains on the napkin into this full-fledged story? It's cool. That's it?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, but I also enjoy other people enjoying it. I also enjoy seeing something from the lens. Try not to get lost in the ancillary things of numbers and polygons versus your frames, your sound design, the million things that goes on in this project. To be a director, you need some detachment, apparently. As a discoverer, being in charge, I would start it off as much more independent artist. Those hands-on control is something you lose as you leave to a wider scope. But I would not trade that for anything. That personality increases the value of the project. design in my head for this project was much more economical than what we got, but what we got is so much better than what I could ever make.
All right. I don't have anything else unless you guys want to keep talking, which is
Yeah,
awesome.
I would-
could
You guys
sit
want
here
to talk
days.
more?
Well, did you?
I'm sure you can.
Did you ever tell the ketchup why it was a ketchup stand?
Well, I mean, I was sitting at an IHOP, and I was sitting in front of my assistant animator, Shane, and I said, Shane, we're going to decide the world right now because I figure if we're going to come up with a world, geography determines your culture, and culture determines your people. So I took a napkin, I took a bottle of ketchup, and I just squeezed it in and rubbed it around, and I just spread it out, and I had what my geography would be. It had some good symmetry and asymmetry that I'm fond of. And then on top of that, there was a few days later, this was during the crunch in Red versus Blue, I decided I took that stand, I took a picture of it, and I took it in the Photoshop, and a night later I had a fully fledged map with like, me and Carrie were like, we have this coast made out of ivory, there's an onyx sea here, or a sea. I was like, ooh, this shallow area looks like it could be a sea that's only 4 feet deep for like 100 miles or something like that. There's also a dumb joke that Carrie made me sneak in there in reference to Psy and Gangnam Style. See, I knew he'd regret it. If Carrie were here, I'd slap him in the face.
See, now, I like Carrie's direction so far. For instance, the bit you showed in the second episode. I think those animations stay in. I don't see anything wrong.
Oh, you mean the Velociraptor? Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I have some of my own dumb jokes. And he asked me for that frame so he could put it in placement of VFX. If you don't know what we're talking about, just go to my Twitter and look, or just go to like Google or the RWBY wiki or something like RWBY related search and say RWBY Velociraptor, and you'll see some pretty dumb pictures that were spawned in the dead of night.
It's probably for the best, though. The dumb
No,
pictures.
it's
I think that's
Last
it.
two quick fire. Ready?
Last two what?
Quick fire.
Quick fire?
Yeah, last two quick
actually, I have one more. I know this might be strange to ask you. Favorite anime or manga down the line?
I mean, definitely favorite of all would be Gurren Lagann for its just energy and hope, and just the way it just tells us such a large and small story at the same time. Simon is the best hero ever that didn't have to die for his cause. He did that by what most good leaders do: lead by example and fade away, which is a much braver thing to do than to die and yell proudly in front of people. Because a good leader, he leads by example, obviously, and he knows when it's not his time anymore.
Favorite manga. Have you guys heard of Wave of One?
No.
It's like a
I feel like I've heard the name before, but I don't know if I've actually read it.
Great manga. They tried to make an anime and it sucked just because it can't break that.
Didn't they just finish that too?
They just finished it and I was really upset. But like I think the artist he did on pencil and the composition and everything, the story is amazing. Anime, I'm not sure. Not much. I mean, I think
You like
Cowboy
Attack-
Bebop. Oh, I like Attack on Titan currently.
I haven't seen
But who
it,
doesn't
but I've heard amazing
watch
things
it?
about it.
So over the top.
I think Cowboy
You're
Bebop was like
fighting.
an early.
Which one?
Cowboy Bebop?
Yes.
He loves
Yeah,
Cowboy.
was one of the early ones.
I like Fruits Basket. And I like Rose of Versailles. Very shows. I don't know. I mean, I think they're very moving in a very understated way. And I think their storytelling is amazing. I don't see much anime
Favorite anime is FMA Brotherhood.
Which one?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Oh, okay.
That was my absolute favorite. And then manga, I don't have a favorite. Definitely has influenced a lot.
Let's go to the last question.
Last two, actually. So we've been asking pretty much everyone you interview a few questions that are really strange. Usually we ask beforehand. If you guys don't mind doing something that's going to make you feel rather awkward.
Real awkward,
Just
actually.
two quick fire questions is all we'll keep it down to.
Sounds like I'll be back to you.
Okay, do it.
So we'll actually start with you and we'll just go each down the line. I've never been so nervous because there's so many people for this. You ever heard of the game Kill, Fuck, Marry?
Do I get to choose?
Between us three, you pick who you kill, who you
Okay.
fuck, who you marry.
Okay. Kill. Sorry, dude.
He's short and balding. Don't be sorry.
Fuck, Mary.
I like you too.
Wow. Man, nobody should be that nice to you.
Just
I
a pretty
appreciate
face.
it.
Kill, kill, kill. Okay.
Ah, see? Okay, I'm okay with that. At
The
least they
first
don't
the
wanna-
first answer is in the heart though, so that's what matters.
Why not?
So incredibly awkward is this?
Oh, man.
Same answer.
I was...
Good job, guys.
Same answer.
Same answer as him.
I like you too.
Kill, kill, kill.
Wait, the kill, or...
Yes.
Okay, okay. I can live with that, at least.
Mary.
Okay.
Wow.
I
A polygamist.
That's a lot better than
You
I
guys
am.
are douches. You're
Yeah.
nice.
Thanks.
I know.
And on to the one that matters the most, I guess.
Kill, because this man would die in a blaze of glory in his heroism.
Wow.
Okay, cool.
Let her kiss ass.
Fuck, because he has soft skin.
Wow.
That's fair.
I would say it was
Puts the lotion in the basket.
And Mary, because he just seems cool, you know, companion.
Thanks. Thanks,
See?
man.
You don't have to fuck the guy you marry, so. Okay.
That is the most boring marriage.
You were just.
Marriage is about companionship. Okay?
Passion.
And passion.
I think it's a little bit about fucking.
I suppose. I'll get my fucks out of the way with you.
10%.
And marry him.
Like, how much percent of marriage would you say?
Is fucking?
Yeah.
Depends on how much you love them. No, I don't love you, but I would still marry you.
Okay.
There was no requisite for love in this.
That is fair.
To love
That
is just tax benefits.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty happy with this because up until today, everyone has chosen to marry him because he cheated and wore a bow tie yesterday. That's why I won. Not today. Everybody said the bow tie.
Everyone had a chance.
Oh,
Just saying.
okay.
Everybody had a chance.
He
I
always
love my
wears a
hat.
hat.
I never don't wear the hat because
Don't
my
tell, please don't
hair's
tell him
horrifying.
that.
I appreciate it.
Anyway.
He's a dick.
And he looks like Rob Thomas without his hat on.
Question number 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If you were on a unicorn right now, what color would it be?
Invisible.
Oh, all right then.
unicorn?
Yeah.
If you were
Why
riding
anybody
a
take a unicorn?
I don't know how unicorns like rainbow. Mine was
Some are white, some are.
some are white.
You know, the real unicorns that we have.
I mean, you can
But
choose. It can
any
be any color you
ever.
want.
Yeah.
It's like your custom-made unicorn.
Well, of course it'd be green with pink hair and yellow stars put down his butt.
Flames
I
on
can't
this?
beat that.
Flames on the side.
Can it just
The
be
race
like
car.
always
Race
switching
unicorn.
colors simultaneously?
We had one guy who answered flashing neon lights and
Yeah,
rave
flashing
music.
neon. It's like,
So
and it'll be disco
Yeah.
ball texture.
iridescent happiness. There we go.
Wow. All right then.
Yes.
I want to be least favorite colors.
Okay. Well, I think we're good.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It
you
was
so much.
amazing talking to
I
all
mean-
of you. Seriously.
to be honest, it was the scariest thing ever.
Thank you so much.
Oh god.
It was great to meet all of you.
Did I help at all?
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah. No.